How many games is this match going to go? And pick the winner if you so feel fit. Just a fun little, no big deal. Just have some fun with it. We're here to have fun and crush our enemies and hear the lamentation of their women's, I think is how that goes.
I'll take your word for it.
Well, with that said, we already got some predictions coming in here. Just waiting for Oopla to ready up and we can get underway. What's coming up, Burgundy, for the rest of the week if you have the schedule handy? And if not, take a look there as I get them lined up.
Well, it's just what I was working on as we were discussing here. But no worries, I do at least have some of it. So coming up tomorrow night, we do have a triple header for you. It is the aforementioned 4 versus 29 matchup. Prince Leaf, the 4 seed, taking on the 29 seeded Mr. Entity. That will be tomorrow at 7 p.m. Eastern. 1 hour later at 8 p.m. Eastern, it is the 1 versus 32 seed, the 32 seed Music and Gaming, taking on the top seed, some guy named Brysolf. And then at 9 p.m. Eastern, we have the 12 versus 21 matchup, the 12-seeded Tapatio J against the 1-seeded Johnny Link. And we have the countdown going here, so we'll give the rest of the week's schedule as things progress here, but we will have game 1 of this best-of-5 match in a matter of moments.
And we are underway here for On Burgundy. Thank you very much for running down that slate for us for the start of the week. Looking forward to my debut tomorrow. Hopefully I do okay. But for now, our concern is right here. Oopla on the right, Skawttie on the left, both getting that razor shield set up, and we are underway.
We most certainly are, and you see them all controlling the middle of the room, utilizing that razor shield to prevent anything from coming a little too close and creating a death.
A little bit of a sabotage there, Burgundy. Grenades hit Skawttie, so he's lost the range on his weapon. That's going to cost him the lead out of the room.
Yep, Oopla will be the first out of the room.
A sub 40 for Oopla. Well, it looks to be more like a 44 or so for Skawttie. So almost a 5-second lead here already.
One thing that we've learned is that the lead can certainly change hands based on the RNG.
And early on, no one get anything real great, but slightly favoring Oopla and vulnerability into a spreader, into a foot. But it's been all grenades all the time on Skattie's side. And look at that. We get an orb now for Oopla.
That orb doing double the firepower as long as you hang on to it, but if you bump into any of the enemies, that orb goes bye-bye, and that razor shield will certainly help with that. A little late in the room for it to create a huge advantage, but Oopla is going to be the first in to eat my shrapnel.
And a great exit of the Hall of Enemies there from Oopla. Takes out a shrapnel. Really, you can see the practice paying off there. That was just workmanship quality there. Unbelievably efficient on that exit. In the meantime, Skawttie does have the orb here and is now getting the shrapnels cut down. So both should be in good shape to hold this room and get out in the about 42 and a half seconds you want it to last. There's 18 shrapnels here and a set amount of swarmers, but the shrapnels are the key. You can't let them build up because you only have 4 on the screen at a time. And this time, oh my, is that a 206 for Oopla into Total Carnage?
Well, those rockets certainly helping, and there's a razor shield as well. All of the vitamin R heading over in Oopla's direction.
Picks up the key a little off the center, but not terrifically so. But now just going to settle down. Nope, going to get the vulnerability. Chasing some better weaponry here. Will the game? No! Will not reward Oopla.
Oh, no.
Grenades on the feet, but thankfully for Oopla, that razor shield keeping the enemies away so the orb wasn't threatened. And Skattie's gaming here, doing a solid job. You can see the skill in both of our racers. They're both doing a great job of holding the middle with this orb. Neither one's been very threatened thus far. But no one's really getting much of anything here. That razor shield probably was the last really good drop we've seen here, Burgundy. Otherwise, it's been pretty dry. And that was a 3-0-1 for Oopla into the bonus room. Hot start here for Oopla.
Certainly not too shabby.
But honestly,
good job about to finish up here.
Good job by Skawttie to recover from that bad RNG early. It is a 16-second gap, And coming with half a clip of rockets will help Skawttie with these gunners that Oopla's about to deal with. No weapon in hand. Oopla opens with the invulnerability. Good for ignoring the shots and hoping to get a better item. But that grenade, not a good item.
Now, grenades are only pretty well good as a last resort in Mutoid Man's room, to the best of my knowledge.
You can use them occasionally in certain situations, but you don't want to push it with them. And hey, unfortunately, Oopla drops the orb here. Here's Skattie's opening. Remember, those rockets clean the room up nicely at the start. And Skattie's holding it down right now, but Oopla gets a replacement. And rockets now in the middle for Skawttie. I think we're going to be pretty much dead up even heading into Mutoid if all things hold true right now.
Great utilization of the rockets on those shrapnels just to take two of them out in one go. And more rockets now for Skawttie.
And look at this. It's going to be dang near even. It is 428 versus a high 429. It's under 2 seconds into Mutoid Man. Both players have a sub-6 opportunity. We've got a lobber at the start for Oopla and a vulnerability for Skawttie. So definite advantage Oopla here. But Skawttie does have the orb still. Could try to do a ball buster. Looks like it was
Just
a miss,
missed.
though.
But gets the spreader. Is doing some manual damage.
And another
on the other side.
Look at this luck here for Skawttie. This is they both break the arm at the same. Oh, a rocket sabotage on Skawttie. And now another spreader. Will Skawttie be able to get it, though?
Yes.
There goes the second arm for both. It's still pretty much a... But the spreader should be advantage Skawttie. And it is a glitchtoid for Skawttie. A glitchtoid for Skawttie. And now the chest open for Oopla, but the lead belongs to Skawttie as the heads pop off here, riding that lobber damage. Now a manual spreader for Oopla, a chance to get some damage back here. Not landing a ton of shots though, Burgundy. Gets the refill of the lobber instead.
So final form now for Skawttie. Oopla probably a good form and a half behind here.
Some manual damage though on that transfer. This is going to be close. It's still advantage Skawttie, but it's close. Who's going to take it home here? Skawttie dancing in laser range, but gets it done.
Gets it done.
Trailed most of the way, but this is such a close matchup, guys. This is the opening salvo. Skawttie, the higher seed, is going to take this, but man, what a showing in this opening race here of this match. 6:18 versus a 6:21.
All told, probably about a 2.5 second difference, and this could easily have gone either way. And scary to think, I mean, as close as this was, this is maybe our fourth closest race thus far.
I believe so. We had at least 2 photo finishes last night, and another one that was like, what, a second?
A second and change, yeah. I was listening to 40 Watt and LOZ Cards fan on the call, and yeah, those were absolutely wild. I'm glad that we're starting to get a little bit of these. I was feeling like, all right, they're saving all the drama for when Cards is on the mic. But as our runners are readying up for game 2, as Skawttie has the early advantage here, we'll take a look at the rest of the lineup. Well, there's still one match that is yet to be scheduled, and we'll see how that goes along the way, as there was one rescheduled from noon yesterday, as there was a little bit of a time zone misunderstanding, we'll call it. But also set for this week, we have the number 7 seed on Tuesday night, Jackamus Wedge, taking on the 26 seed. That would be myself. So I'll be looking forward to taking the loss and facing Lucha in the bonus bracket somewhere down the line. Also, that night after that, we have the 11-seeded Space Colonizer taking on the 22-seed Fire Broth. And then Wednesday, for the moment, it looks like we have a bit of a break. But Thursday, we have another triple header coming your way as we have the 231 matchup. CHX 42, the 2 seed, taking on the 31 seed Lick Arcade. Then we have the 330 matchup, 40-watt range versus the 30 seed Drex 23. That's at 8 p.m. on Thursday, 7 p.m. for the preceding race. And then at 9 p.m. Eastern to close things out on Thursday, the 15 seed Aries Fire Tiger taking on the 18 seed Seawalker 777.
Some interesting matches to come in the next few days, that's for sure. We're still trying to get that one matchup scheduled. Originally, it was going to lead off the entire slate of games there on Saturday with a noon start, but we're working on the reschedule of that at the moment. We were going to try to get it in today, but alas, one of our racers was unable to stream at this time. So we'll wait and see when we get to it. They're going to be working that out. We're underway, Burgundy. Oopla versus Skawttie. A little pause there to get them lined up. So the timers are about equal, and they both get that Razor Shield set up again. So far, every racer has been able to do that successfully. Nothing worse when you miss that in a competition.
Yeah, even in practice, it's one of those frustrating moments, to say the least here. And Skawttie with the early advantage. Oopla getting the nuke, but a little too late.
Still, it's only about a 2-second lead for Skawttie, a little closer than last time. Oopla probably won't be happy with that, but better for Skawttie, that's for sure. Let's see what the opening drops bring us, Burgundy.
Oh, we've got a foot over on Skawttie's side and rockets on Oopla's side. You love to see him.
Now rockets for Skawttie with that foot on board, always nice, makes it a little easier to land your shots. The vulnerability for Oopla, they're both doing a great job just making these rockets last as long as they can, and more rockets for Skawttie while Spreader lands on Oopla.
Going to utilize the nuke to clear the room for a moment, get just that split second of a breather. And
great job here. They stayed equal pace, 124 versus a 126. Neither sees an orb, but they both got to be pretty happy with that time. Oh, Skawttie gets swirled.
Those swirls are rather cumbersome.
I just walk through them. That's the old way to do it. Rockets now for Skawttie. Still no orb in this matchup. You know, as 41 is prone to say, he likes equal RNG, and so far this has been shockingly equal.
Equally mean, but equal nonetheless. But would you expect anything otherwise from Smash TV?
Well, they've both been getting their weaponry stuff, and as you can see, Oopla did use a nuke, and that cost him a few seconds in that room. Razor Shield open for Skawttie, grabs it knowing the shrapnel can't hurt it from that angle, and then a rocket, and he takes out the shrapnel first. That's just smart. Kept his shield healthy. And now a Razor Shield for Oopla, so the drop's kind of evening out here again, but still no orb. This is shocking how far we're in without seeing one yet.
Oopla had gotten a Razor Shield earlier, but pretty much all of it ran right into a shrapnel based on the positioning of it, and that's something you just don't like to see.
Yeah, it's tough sometimes. You're kind of stuck at a spot where you're not going to get it if you don't grab it then. And now both finally have an orb, so it'll come down to who holds this down a little tighter at this point, but the lead definitely belongs to Skawttie with slightly better drops and usage and more rockets for Skawttie now, but loses the orb at the end of the room.
Going to be first into the secret room, but as long as Oopla can... Oh, he takes the shrapnel death!
Going for the rockets and the shrapnel, sometimes, you know, it's like Cards fan says, the game knows, and the game knew to totally get him there. And this is going to be a big, about 20-second lead or so for Skawttie with the rockets in hand, but no orbs, so there is some hope for Oopla if the drops are helpful in tank trouble. So with that all said and done, Skawttie did use those rockets to get rid of one gunner, using the invulnerability to get rid of a second gunner, and is now just going to try to ride the middle as long as possible, hoping the power-ups will help. I've got a paused stream on my end. I'm unable to see any of the action here, Burgundy. So if you
Yeah,
can,
I'm right there with you, but I do see here on the backup feed, so we have rockets over on Oopla's side, and Skawttie utilizing a nuke, and just when you think that's the end of the room, here comes some more swarmers, some more shrapnel, some more doggone near everything here, another tank as well. Rockets being utilized rather nicely. A great invulnerability, almost taking a death there on Oopla's side, but able to avoid it. Gets some spreader action as well. And another rocket for Oopla. And another rocket for Oopla. Skawttie's going to be the first into Mutoid Man at about 443, but 447 for Oopla. It's only about a 4-second differential.
coming in with rockets, so they should be able to kill the gunners somewhat quickly. A bad drop for Skawttie, though, with that key. And now an invulnerability and a spread for Oopla.
So Oopla with the lobber and the arm popped. There was a spreader that I don't know if Skawttie saw or just wasn't able to get to based on the positioning of Mutoid Man.
And yeah, he could have maybe taken the death for it. This gets killed. Skawttie, they both get a spreader.
Wow, they both get spreaders.
But Oopla's is in a much better position, so this is an advantage. Oopla, this will be a good opportunity here. Yeah, and look at this. Head already popped, second last form. Skawttie dies going manual. We'll get that grenade, but the lead is massive right now for Oopla. We're on our way to a tie matchup, probably. Oh, the lobber damage.
Form.
What a great race here from Oopla, gaming through heroically on what was a very cruddy set of drops for most of the run, and it's going to get a 615. This is a sub 90 Mutoid, I believe.
Absolutely wild. Meanwhile, here's a spreader. Skawttie going to do a manual here and ends up getting run over. I know those feels. Picks up the grenade. Oopla 615 in, as Bry called. Final form now for Skawttie.
What a ridiculous set of drops and execution. That's the thing. You can get all the luck in the world, but if you don't execute it, it doesn't matter. And Oopla just hammered Mutoid Man in that fight. And one more snipe for the road by Mutoid Man on Skawttie there. Grenades to finish it off. It'll be around a 659 or so. And it's all tied up at 1, guys. What a great Mutoid Man. Just wow.
This one was a game that was a lot closer than the final times indicate. It was just, as usual, RNG gonna RNG.
So my prediction of at least 4 is accurate, but man, these first 2 races have been really competitive. Going 5 is definitely not outside the realm of possibility. Just crazy.
I'd be up for seeing it.
So as our racers get ready here, we will get them underway as soon as we can. In the meantime, guys, remember, we still have another, after this, 9 matches this week for just the opening round. Monday, Tuesday, and Thursday nights. Looking at some matches. We'll have a lot of the top end seeds will be in action. We haven't seen anyone from the top 4 yet. So interesting stuff to come, that is for sure.
Yep, the 2 of those top 4 seeds will be going tomorrow night, 7 p.m. Eastern. It will be Prince Leaf, the 4 seed, against the 29 seed Mr. Entity. And at 8 p.m. Eastern, it will be the number 1 seed Brysulf against the 32 seed Music and Gaming. Now, of note, the winner of this particular race will move on to take on the winner of Prince Leaf and Mr. Entity. The loser of this race will go to the bonus bracket and will face against the loser of Prince Leaf against Mr. Entity.
Wasn't that just convenient how that lines up? So they both only have to watch one match tomorrow. And that would be, I believe, the first one up on the evening. And we are underway here. Probably going to be a slight pause to get them lined up. And we should be good to go. Oopla's having some start button issues, so not able to start immediately at points. And we're underway in grenades early on Skawttie. That's unfortunate. That's nerfing his range. This is an opening here for Oopla to get the lead out of Arena 1. And now they're all lined up here, and they're just pounding shots away. And as predicted, due to those grenades, Oopla will leave the room with a slight advantage. It's a 41 versus a 44, a 3-second lead. Let's see if one of them gets an early power-up advantage, or is the game going to keep it pretty even again like it did last time?
We've got rockets to start on Oopla's side, and just grenades for Skawttie.
Advantage for Oopla for sure. Can really kill a lot of these swarmers with accurate fire, but not getting an orb, so not the biggest thing. And as I say this, there's an orb.
Commentator's blessing.
I suppose so. I guess I'm not going to make it very far as 40-watt range. You know, he kept cursing everybody yesterday. And with that said, these drops have been pretty bad for Skawttie. Oopla's out at 124. Skawttie is probably going to be, well, I'd wager mid-130s with these drops. It has been pretty rotten.
Might even be closer to late 130s at this point. Yeah, 139.
And the rockets are flowing for Oopla. The control of this room is easy, easy, easy with that orb. And it's even easier with those rockets just showing up. Skawttie needs an orb before this room is over. Desperately needs it. And right now, this is just not looking fair at the moment. We'll have to wait and see if it's going to even up here at some point, or Oopla will make some kind of mistake. But right now, Oopla in control.
207 into total carnage for Oopla.
I got to give Skawttie his props here, though. Doing a good job as best as he can with these rotten drops to keep the numbers under control.
Yeah, Skawttie doing a great corporate strategy, doing as much as he can with as little as he has.
Still lost about 3 seconds in the room, but given how bad the drops were, that's actually really well done. Keeping within reach, that's all he can do right now, and he needs something to show up. Razor Shield will help, but needs that orb. Meanwhile, Vitamin R, the Malk is flowing for Oopla. Oh my. Skawttie continuing to just get not a lot here. A second Razor Shield for Oopla at the end of the room. Didn't really matter. Honestly, didn't even help. But a 3:04 into the bonus room. Skawttie is just hemorrhaging time right now. Finally gets an orb. Cannot lose it now under any circumstances. Trying to get to those rockets, but the shrapnel's get him. They layered the explosions to just really rub it in. Unbelievably troll, but hey, it wouldn't be Smash TV if it didn't do things like that.
Even Bret Hart saying, man, Skawttie, they stuck it to you on that one.
Oh, rockets for Oopla to open the room here. Grabs them, takes out the gunners, gets rid of all of the shrapnels, is in total control, getting spreaders, and then loses the orb here, unfortunately. The first real mistake of the run. But Skattie's going to need a lot of help here from the game to catch up now. The lead is massive. Is coming in with some spreader shots at least, and gets an orb replacement, so not the end of the world by any means. And rocket, so that help is coming early. Can he get
to them though? He loses the orb in the process, but does get the rockets.
Needs to keep those rockets flowing at this point. And yeah, Oopla's going to finish this up right now. It's going to be about a 426, 427. Rockets on the feet for Skawttie and an orb. So the game is trying to help Skawttie climb back in here. Just has to hold it down. More rockets! Playing loose with that orb, but the orb's still intact. Trying to get back to the middle. Doing everything he can. Meanwhile, Oopla into Mutoid Man's room, using the lobber to take out the gunners on the tank. And still, despite these drops, Skawttie is 30 seconds back here.
Yeah, about a 457, 458, roughly 30 seconds trailing. So, gonna need some empty drops for Oopla and some spreaders for Skawttie to be able to close this gap.
So the Rockets able to take out the enemies there. A spreader for Oopla, and that might be the very end of any hope for Skawttie, because that was a great spreader setup, and the item can't even sabotage Oopla right now. If Oopla gets a spreader here, PB is on the table. Oh, it's a lobber. It's good. It's just not as good as a spreader.
And a key!
Keys everywhere in this room. That's about the third one I've seen here on Skattie's side.
Final form for Oopla. Empty drops, just trying to take out the shrapnels, and picks up the foot. Now a grenade, not ideal, but it does damage.
Here's a spreader opportunity for Skawttie. Gets the weapon. Oopla does die. Will not reach that lobber, so this isn't over yet. Still, Oopla's advantage. This lobber should be enough. Avoid death and just land some shots. And indeed,
There it is.
there it is. The pivotal third game goes to Oopla. 2-1 Oopla. One race win away from getting to the next round. But man, Oopla at one point looked to be looking at a 5-4X if the spreader had fallen, and ends up with a 6-19. Just shows you how.
It does tend to show a lot of the wildness here, and this one is probably about as close as the score indicates here. It's about a 31-second difference. So Mutoid Man, denying the sub 6 for Oopla, but still a rather impressive Booyaka 619.
And thanks to Burgundy, I now know that's a wrestling reference. So thanks, Burgundy.
I do what I can. For those unfamiliar, Rey Mysterio's theme. Okay, Meowth knows in chat. All right.
Well, there we go. So we're just going to get our racers readied up here and have them ready to rock. Will Oopla win the match in race number 4, or is Skawttie going to force a decisive race number 5? Place your guesses in the chat now. Call your shot, because it's going to be fun.
Meanwhile, looking ahead, we have one matchup that's already set for round 2. The 8-seeded Teleo 1 taking on the 9-seeded Stormcrow 56K. That'll be scheduled next week, as we still have the first round to get through, and I would imagine the bonus bracket as well. Meanwhile, in that bonus bracket, we have one match officially set, as the 24-seed Volrath will be taking on the 25-seed Retrophile TV, and one unofficially set, as the 23-seeded Lucha Gym will more than likely be taking on the 26-seeded Ferran Burgundy.
You have to play Jack first. You haven't got down there yet. Come on now.
I know. I still have to play Jack.
And who knows? Maybe he'll lose his hands or something. He's Jack. You never know what he's going to do. He's highly unpredictable. We are underway. Game number 4. Oopla up 2-1 here over Skawttie. As said before, the higher seed Oopla actually has the better PB at the moment, but they're only 8 seconds apart, and they've been playing really close to their PB area in general when the drops have been decent. And a grenade sabotage on Skawttie again.
Not what you like to see, being down 2-1.
Well, it's not going to kill your run. It just means you're going to be behind out of the room. There is a nuke opportunity. He doesn't even need to use it. Not going to be too far back here. It's going to be about a 41 to about a 43, it looks like. Actually, even better than that. High 40 and a high 42. So maybe Skawttie will get the better early luck this time. Let's see what the game gives. Oopla, first drop is Rockets. Skawttie gets an vulnerability.
Oh my goodness.
Not great, but not the worst thing. All that orb, the earlier the better. Spreader on the feet for Skawttie, and grenades here for Oopla. They're both hunting that orb, and first orb goes to Skawttie. So the shooting advantage definitely to Skawttie. Just needs to keep that orb healthy.
Spreaders will definitely help with that. Rockets will help even more.
Should be a good finish to the room with those rockets. Just blabbing more rockets.
More
here.
rockets.
And you know what? Gonna save the full clip. Pretty smart usage there. 125
Wow.
to a 127. This will be an easy shrapnel cleanup. Skawttie's just got to be careful not to lose the orb.
Oh,
Was
you
too
called it.
too focused on the shrapnels, not cleaning up the mess around him. However, that's not a time loss yet. It all comes down to, will a replacement show up? So far, neither one's really getting much of anything. And I think Skawttie thought that invulnerability was going to be available. Skawttie definitely gave up a bit of time there for on. There was 4 shrapnels on screen for a second or two. That delayed the spawn-ins. And now we have an orb for Oopla. So this might be the swing in the race here. As you can see, Skawttie didn't even get all the swarmers done up before the shrapnels. And the lead has switched Oopla by about 2 seconds.
That orb making an immense difference here, and a nuke to clear out total carnage to start, just giving Oopla that little bit of refocus to be able to clear. And another nuke.
Nuke's not a terrible use. It's usually better if there's more shrapnels on screen than not, but not a bad thing in a race setting to clean it up. Just make it a little easier. That one was on his feet.
That was on the feet. Nothing you could do about it.
Yep. Nothing you can do with that. Vulnerability on the feet for Skawttie, but these drops have been a flaming dog do bag. They've been pretty bad.
Yeah, that's 4 nukes now for Oopla, 2 of which were utilized, 2 of which were not.
Rockets now for Skawttie gets to them. Can at least clean up some of the room here temporarily, but the advantage to Oopla is immense right now, looking to finish this match off.
A 5th nuke now for Oopla, not going to need it. Finishing off the room here, going to be about a 320 into the bonus room.
So we'll have to wait and see how far behind Skawttie is. Gets the swirl of shame from spending too much time in the room. Gonna use the nuke to clean it up because that swirl wasn't going away. And not the end of the room here. Skawttie thought it was over, but no. We've still got.
I know those feels as well.
It's going to be a 22 second lead here for Oopla. Skawttie, again, depending on the kindness of the RNG strangers out there to get him back in this matchup.
Oopla loses the orb.
That will help. And
there's a replacement orb. Will he get to it in time?
Should be able to. But
and loses it immediately.
Not able to get away from the swarmers. So here's the opening for Skawttie. What will the drops bring? We get rockets to start. Fantastic. Best drop he could have asked for. And then a razor shield. The mulk is flowing. We have rockets on Oopla's side. The weapons have... Oh, on Skattie's side.
Yeah, the weapons were definitely generous to Oopla, now a little bit more generous on Skawttie as a little bit of a connectivity issue, perhaps on my side or perhaps to you out there.
It was indeed both. I was hoping you could see, but either...
But either way, fly ball caught. It's kind of what it feels like at times here. No.
So, with that, look at this. Lead has shrunk. It's probably only
about a second here. Maybe 2.
Oh, it's about 7, I think. Either way, here we go. Rockets to open for Oopla. Both get rid of that swirl. Grenades for Skawttie. That first spreader they can really pound in there is going to matter. They both get one. Skattie's, I don't think he can reach that.
Oh, no. With Mutoid Man moving toward the entrance, that just absolutely stuck any potential path to that spreader.
The good news is that Oopla didn't do a ton with the manual spreader, so the lead is not astronomical, but it's still a solid probably 4.5 right now. Here's a spreader.
And another spreader.
This should be reachable. How much invulnerability time will Oopla have is the question. Going the long way around. Interesting. Dies getting the damage in. Oh, Skawttie avoids the mine, gets one. He has to manual like a champ right now. No weapon for Oopla as we get a third form. That was a great manual from Skawttie, about 1 1/3 form there. Fantastically done. And they're on the same form, despite all odds, Burgundy.
Oopla now popping the head off, and Skawttie popping the head right off afterward.
Both of them riding the lobber train. It's going to come down to accuracy. Skawttie picks up a spreader. It's same
The
form.
manual and transfer damage.
Gets a foot. Has to get that foot now to force another weapon drop. We have a lobber for Oopla. The advantage is Oopla on weapons. Will Oopla avoid the death? Yes. Can Oopla get the shots to land? And the empty drop there for Skawttie. Skawttie looking for a weapon. A Mutoid sits on it.
Oh, it's another empty drop, and Oopla's going to take it. Wow.
And it's all over. I got to say, Skawttie did a good job for making up for that spreader death that was probably not going to happen. And look how close Mutoid was. Those two empty drops steal the heart and soul out of Skattie's run. And Oopla will win this match 3-1.
Unbelievable. The empty drop feeling on Skawttie, the back-to-back empty drops when things were neck and neck like that. You can see an 11-second difference, and without that, we would have had a game 5.
Just pure insanity. What a great race. So that's all the races we have for today. Just the one on the slate here on an Easter Sunday. We quickly just want to run over the rest of the week again, Burgundy, so everyone knows what times to be here for Monday, Tuesday, and Thursday action.
Most certainly. So we have 9 matches left here in the first round, 8 of which are scheduled, and they're all going to be here on GG Speedruns. First up, we have a triple header tomorrow night as the 4-seeded Prince Leaf takes on the 29-seed Mr. Entity. That is tomorrow at 7 p.m. Eastern. 1 hour later, or pretty much immediately following thereafter, we have the number 1 seed, Brysolf, my broadcast partner here, taking on the 32-seed Music and Gaming. That'll be around 8 p.m. Eastern or immediately following the Prince Leaf Mr. Entity match. And then following that matchup at 9 p.m. Eastern, we have the 12-seeded Tapatio J taking on the 21-seeded Johnny Link. That is scheduled for 9 p.m. Eastern, but could be a little bit earlier depending on the 2 preceding matchups. Moving over to Tuesday, we have a doubleheader set your way as Jacquemus Wedge, the 7 seed, will be taking on myself, Ferran Burgundy. That'll be this Tuesday at 9 p.m. Eastern, and then set a little bit later individual schedule basing somewhere in the 10 to 11 p.m. range that is yet to be finalized. I think that has to do to some occupational obligations that puts that as a little bit more of a random set than an official time there. But the 11-seeded Space Colonizer will be taking on the 22-seeded Fire Broth. And then, of course, on Thursday, we have another triple header coming your way at 7 p.m. Eastern. It's going to be the number 2 seed CHX42 against the number 31 seed Lick Arcade. That's at 7 p.m. Eastern. And then at 8 p.m. Eastern or immediately thereafter, the number 3 seed 40-watt range. He'll be taking on the number 30 seed Drex 23. And then we also have at 9 p.m. Eastern, the 15 seed Aries Fire Tiger against the number 18 seed Seawalker 777. And then there is one matchup that is yet to be scheduled. That is the 14 versus 19 seed. The 14 seed Drumboardist taking on the number 19 seed Governator 5.
And looking forward to all of those matches. Governator and Drumboardist might actually slip into Saturday this coming weekend, 6 days from now. But the thing to keep in mind is there'll probably be some second round action coming at you as well on that day. So getting right into the fire and flames and getting things going. A lot more action coming at you. This is just week 1. There is a lot more races, a lot more matches, so many prizes, and something I should announce for everyone out there in the crowd. So you know, there's a new prize that's been added to the pool. There's a $50 shared prize, $25 each, to whatever is determined to be the match of the tournament. That's going to be decided by the comms team. Of course, the audience can also have some input on that just based on crazy awesome matches. Right now, the leader probably has to be Lucha, and I'm trying to remember who Lucha played yesterday, but it was a crazy set of matches races, pardon me, that went 5 with a lot of lead changes. It's currently in the lead, but a lot more coming at you. So another prize added to the pool thanks to Prince Leaf.
It'd be Lucha against E.T. Go Ham.
Oh man, I caught a little bit of that. That was one of the ones with one of those like less than a second sort of wins. So pretty good stuff, guys. Anyway, I think that's gonna do it. A short one today, but after yesterday's marathon, a nice little palate cleanser, nice little 100-meter sprint, little Donovan Bailey in 1996 in Atlanta, getting it done. Join us tomorrow for Monday action, a triple header as laid out by my broadcast partner, Ferran Burgundy. So with that, I yield the floor. Ferran, the final words are yours.
All right. Well, thank you for taking a little bit of your Easter Sunday here to tune into us here at GG Speed Runs. For our restreamer, Mr. Dino 23, for my broadcast partner, Brysolf, I'm Ferran Burgundy saying stay classy, my friends, stay safe, good luck, you'll need it, and happy Easter.